Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. How are you all doing? Today we are making this delicious special Ghana jollof recipe. If you are new here, hello, this is Vicky in the kitchen. You are welcome to my channel. Feel free to like this video and subscribe, and let's make this jollof together. So to begin with, we are going to be seasoning some beef, okay? You may use any protein of your choice. After I chop the onions, I'm going to use some natural spices, some minced ginger, and then some garlic. And I'll also be using thyme. Thyme is very important in this recipe, so please do not miss using thyme, okay? Add enough into your blender and then go ahead and add the onion that you've chopped, some water to blend, and then you'll blend it nicely. To our pot, we're going to add the beef that has been washed nicely, the spice blend, some seasoning and salt to taste, okay? I usually add enough salt at this point so that the meat can retain its flavor, and also I can get tasty stock for my dish, okay? So after adding enough water, I'm going to let this cook for 10 minutes under medium heat. After 10 minutes of cooking this, I was back to check on it. I gave it a good stir and I reduced the heat to medium-low heat, and I gave it another 5 minutes. After 5 minutes of cooking this nicely, we are back and it is well done. So we want to take out the meat and get it ready for frying. Whilst that is going on, if you've not liked the video already, please do like the video and subscribe if you haven't. So I am going to use this for my stew base, just basic tomatoes, onion, and then habanero pepper. You may use more onion if you prefer, okay? So I'm going to add some vegetable oil into my pan, and then we are going to wait till it's nice and hot, add some onions for flavor, and fry the beef until it's nice and well browned, okay? You may fry it until it's brown to your desire, but this time we want the beef to be nicely browned, just the way you are seeing on the screen. After taking it off the fire, we are going to go ahead and pour in some chopped onions. I'm using 2 large onions for this. Onions are very important in jollof, okay, especially Ghana jollof. So make sure you add enough onions so that your jollof will turn out really tasty. I'm using purple onions, okay. After frying it for a few minutes, I added some bay leaf and continued frying it until it was nice and translucent, or until it was browning. Then we are going to add some tomato paste to this. I'm adding enough tomato paste because I want my jollof to have this nice color to it, okay? So you are going to fry this very well until it's nice and beginning to brown, okay? This should take about 10 minutes or less, okay? So I'm under medium to high heat here. So frying it beautifully until it gets to this point where you can see that it's beginning to brown. That's when you know you fried it very, very well, okay? So you're going to go ahead and add your tomato blend to this. And the tomato blend can make or unmake your jollof if you don't cook it well, or if you cook it well. So make sure you cook this very, very well until oil settles on top, okay? Then you will know that you fried it very well. So I'm going to cover it and leave some breathing space so that the cover of the pan can receive the splatter. Then we'll come back and check on it, and then we are adding a little bit of the stock that we got from steaming the meat. I'll be using the rest of the stock in the jollof, so please don't add all at once. Cover it again and then let it cook very, very well until it's almost ready. After checking on it again, I'm going to add some spices. These are natural spices, okay? You may add any spice of your choice. I'm just interested in adding natural spices to bring out the real taste of the jollof, okay? Whilst that is going on, I'm going to be washing some rice later on. I just wanted to show you. This is lele rice, by the way. You may use any rice of your choice, okay? So after that, I came back to check on the stew, and the stew was almost done. So I seasoned it with some curry powder, some stock cube, and some salt to taste. That was just the basic seasoning that I used for the stew. You may use any seasoning of your choice. Give it about 5 minutes, okay? And you know, jollof, when you're making jollof, you don't want to use too much stew. Okay, so I'm taking some stew off this, and then if your stew too is too less, your jollof will not come out really tasty. So don't use too much stew and don't use too less stew. Okay, so after I washed my rice, I added it until everything was added. So after adding the rice, you want to mix it into the stew very well and begin to toast it. What I mean by toasting it is that you are going to let the heat go on medium heat, and you will stir it for some time and then leave it for like some few seconds just to cook and stir it again. This should be done for about 5 to 10 minutes. Okay, when you do this, you allow the rice and the stew to come together nicely, okay, so that when you cook the rice, it can come out one, just the way we all enjoy our jollof. At least most of us enjoy it that way. Funny enough, some people like mushy jollof rice, but hey, it's to your taste. Okay, so if you want your jollof to be one, you want to do this to make sure that it is well toasted. Then you add the stock from where we steamed the meat and then some water. You will notice that I didn't add too much water to this. Okay, you want to mix it very well and taste for seasoning. Usually when you're cooking jollof, you want it to be a little bit salty, because when it's cooked, it becomes less salty. I added some pepper, some seasoning, and then some salt to taste. I'm going to mix this very well, and then I'll use parchment paper to trap the heat. Okay, I'm going to cook this under low heat because I didn't add a lot of water and we do not want our rice to come out soggy. Okay, so once it's under low heat, we are going to leave it to cook for 10 minutes and we'll be back to check on it. After cooking for 10 minutes, you notice the water has settled on the parchment paper. If you want to introduce the water back, fine, but I don't want to introduce the water back because I don't want my jollof to be soggy. I gave it a very good mix, and then I'll go and cover this again and let it cook for 15 minutes. Whilst that is going on, we'll be chopping some vegetables, some carrots, bell pepper, green beans, and spring onions. You may use any vegetable of your choice. Make sure you select very good vegetables, because when your carrots are not sweet, they affect the overall taste of the rice. Okay, and then the bell peppers as well. Please do not forget to take out the white part, because the white part is quite bitter. So chop all the vegetables, and once that is done, we'll proceed with the rest of the recipe. We are here to check on the jollof again, and you can see that it's cooking beautifully at this point, but it's not ready. Okay, we'll give it a very good mix, and then we'll go ahead and add the meat that we fried. Okay, we don't want to eat all the meat, so let's add it and then cover it for it to cook again for 15 minutes. After 15 minutes, water has settled again, but I wouldn't be using the water. We'll throw it away. Then we are going to mix this very well. And at this point, the jollof was almost cooked, so we just gave it a very good mix and then covered it again to cook for about 20 minutes. But we came back to check on it in between. Okay, that's how you cook it. Make sure your heat is low and then cook it until it is nicely done. You don't need too much water in your jollof to have a beautiful jollof recipe. Okay, after cooking it for 20 minutes, checking on it periodically, look at how beautiful it came out, nice and ready. You may choose to eat your jollof just like this, or you will follow us and let's show you what we'll do to our jollof next. Okay, but before that, I want to thank you all my returning and new subscribers. You guys are so amazing. Thank you for liking, sharing and commenting on my videos. I am so grateful. God bless you. Keep doing it. Okay, so I'm going to take out the jollof and then I'll put it on some parchment paper for it to cool down beautifully. Okay, this is to help us to prevent it from clinging to each other when we are stir frying it in our vegetables. With some oil, use a little oil because the jollof is also having enough oil. So we'll just saute some onions until they are nice and translucent. We'll start with the sausage. So we'll fry the sausage until it's almost browning. We don't want it to be fully brown because when it's fully brown it begins to shrink, and we don't want that. Okay, so when it's beginning to brown like this, then we can go ahead and add the hardest of our vegetables. We are adding the green beans and the carrots at this point. We'll stir fry it for a minute, and then we are going to cover it so that it retains a little bit of heat for a few seconds, and then we'll take the cover off. After taking the cover off, we are going to add the spring onions at this point. Spring onions are soft, so we don't want to stir fry it for too long. We'll just stir fry it for a minute and then begin to add in the jollof. We are going to stir fry this jollof just until it comes together because we don't want to continue cooking the jollof at this point. We just want all the flavors to marry nicely, and then once that is done, our jollof will be nice and ready. We are also going to add our bell pepper, which is the softest of vegetables. We still want it crunchy, that's why we added it last. And look at how beautiful our jollof is. Let me know in the comment section how you love this recipe and if you'll be making it. Thank you so much. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel. You can see we are enjoying our food with some mango juice. God bless you all. See you in our next video. Bye.